Welcome back to Investing and Trading Live, sponsored by Online Trading Academy. As always, my name is Josh Lilquist. And in the last segment, we were getting into some different concepts on the consistency part of it, but the leverage in the financial markets, being able to do more with less. I'm going to give an example here in a minute here, but if you did miss seats for that investing class, just text the word investing to the number 210 for 2 seats to this free investing class, local here at the academies. What we introduce you to is the different topics we talk about on the show here today. We talk about the leverage, some of the different services that we do here at Online Trading Academy to help our students have consistency, but also have more choices in their life. So just text the word investing to the number 210 for 2 seats for that class right here at the Academy. And as I was talking about the using leverage, and here's an example of being able to use leverage in the financial markets. I call it the Popeye strategy. Everybody remembers the old cartoon Popeye, and I forget the girl's name. Do you remember the girl's name?
Olive oil.
Olive oil, yeah.
Mhm.
Popeye and olive oil. And when he wanted to get real strong and have big muscles and big biceps, all he would do is squeeze that can of spinach. It
Right.
would fly up in the air, and he would eat that spinach, and he would have these superpowers. He could do
Yeah.
more by just having this little superpower of spinach.
Yeah. By the way, I tried that. It doesn't work.
You try that, it doesn't work. But that's very similar to what using leverage in the financial markets is. It's being the ability to do more with less, or essentially have some sort of strategy that, especially like with the stock market, you can buy stock at a discount through options. So I like to
Mhm.
call it the Popeye strategy. Is you're still the same person, you're just doing much more with less in the financial markets. And in this last segment here today, I wanted to discuss a little bit about what's the opportunity right now. In the first segment, we talked about what is a normal market. Is the normal market now where we see news that show bring some volatility, and then things slow down, or the interest rates bring volatility and things move bigly from there, as we said in that
Mhm.
first segment. But we need a strategy for today. And there are strategies for today, and that can change throughout the course of time. As Al was talking about in that first segment, the strategy might be a little bit different in a year from now. So then you still need a strategy for today. It's just then.
Right.
So I want you to discuss a little bit and to get into what you wanted to talk about and what you mean by what can you do today in the financial markets.
Well, you're right. Things change. The strategies that work change. What happens in the economy changes. What never changes, though, Josh, is what moves price. And
Okay.
and what moves price is money. You just follow the money. The big money, the people that have billions or trillions to invest, when they take a position, that's what moves price. So that's the let's keep it simple. That's the thing you want to identify. You know, what we have found is that over 70% of our students say they wish they had started earlier.
Yeah.
What does that tell you? Well, if 70% of our students say they wish they had started earlier, what they're doing now must be working for them and would have worked years ago. So,
Well,
years ago would have been the best time to start, but that's gone. You can't go back in time. But what you can do is you can control what you do now. You can control what happens in the future by making decisions now that are going to be beneficial to you.
and years ago, what you were taught to do is get your lunchbox, get your work boots on,
Right.
and go work more hours. And that's working harder, not necessarily smarter. But now what we're talking about is not working smarter or harder; it's working right.
That's correct. And there's a right way of doing things. And by the way, the right way of doing things for one person might be different than it is for someone else. There's a
Hmm.
right path. There's a best path for each individual person. But Wall Street, when you're looking at advisors that have several hundred clients, they can't put together a right path for each individual person.
So you
So,
mentioned that right path. How do you help people here at the academy? So when people are coming into these investing classes that we've been having people text into
Mhm.
here today and all the time, how do you help people find and discover the right path? 'Cause sometimes they don't even know what it is.
In fact, most of the time they don't know what it is. They have been conditioned to believe you just throw your money at something. It's what I call the toss and stick
You had
strategy.
some other terms to that as
Yeah,
well.
yeah, yeah. we'll just stay with this one for now. But it's basically, okay, I should get the market's going up. I better get in. So I'm just going to put my money into a mutual fund or throw some money into a bunch of different stocks. Maybe I'm going to be diversified because I've got a stock that's in the financial area. I've got one in technology, one in financial, one in consumer staples, and so forth. And thinking you're diversified, but in fact you're in one asset class that is going to move in the same direction. So when we crash, when the market crashes, when we go through a correction or a bear market, the correlation between those assets that are the same becomes very high. So it's like pulling a plug on a bathtub. Everything gets sucked down. Same thing happens when we go through a bear market. Pretty much everything, even the really good companies, get taken down with the bad ones. So what we do in these classes, we show you, number one, what the benefits are in the market, what moves the market prices, what's really important, and how you can really eliminate a lot of that noise, what I've often called it the fluff out there,
Yeah.
that really is not important.
That's some good terms today.
Yeah, and then what are the assets that are available to you that Wall Street uses that they don't teach you about? We'll show you that. And then what we want to do is find out from each person, where are you now and where do you want to be in the future? What do you want your future to look like? And, if it's important enough for you, then would you put a little bit of effort into trying to go from where you are now to where you want to be? There's a right path for you. And that's one of the things that we do. We look at each person as an individual and try to help them with their individual goals and aspirations. And whatever the issues are you have, there's always a way to overcome those.
Yep.
But you have to be able to talk about it and realize what can be done differently.
Yeah, I think Al, I think a lot of our listeners just aren't really sure what they need, and that's why you've helped so many. I mean, we've had thousands of people coming into these investing classes, and you've helped so many people discover what that could look like. And then, as you mentioned, where are you now? Where do you want to be in the future? And then, how do you bridge that gap? And that's what we're going to cover in these investing classes here at the Academy: is how do you bridge the gap to where are you now and where do you want to be? So to come into one of these classes, just text the word investing to the number 210 for 2 seats, and check this out and see if this is even right for you. Text investing to the number 210. Now, Al, we do so many things here in person at the Academy. There's so much, we'll call it, in your term, fluff online. There's so much garbage out there you can find about the markets, financial markets, and investing. Why is it so important, and why are you seeing so many people comment on this, that they love having an in-person place to go or in-person class to learn about the markets?
Well, first of all, having that interaction, the person-to-person, face-to-face interaction is huge. And what we do a combination of things. It's not just education. It's not just kind of lecturing. I hate to use that word. It's not just,
It's by
let's say,
far from that, actually.
imparting knowledge upon you, but it's also getting your hands dirty, so to speak. It's experiencing what you're learning. We have you trading live in classes with someone there that's watching what you're doing. But the important thing also is you have a place to come on whenever you want to be with other people that are trying to achieve similar goals like you have. But here's one of the things I think that's important to remember. You can listen to something. You listen to a webinar or seminar, and then a week later, 2 weeks later, try to recreate or remember everything that happened in that seminar. You can't. It goes in your mind for a little while, and you're thinking, this is great. These ideas are fantastic. I'm going to use them. And a week or two later, you forgot what they are. Mm-hmm. One of the great things about being a student here is that we're not going to let you forget that. We provide resources for you, tools that you can use to continue
like the
using
OTA
what
picks
you've
we were
learned.
talking about.
The OTA picks is one. And then just being with other people and talking about the same things, talking about how to be successful. Hang around with people that are already successful that can help kind of mentor you and give you some guidance there.
Yeah.
But don't just learn something and then let it leave your mind. Use it. Keep using it. Use repetition is really what we kind of push here. Repetition of something that is right, that works correctly, because you can repeat something that doesn't work and then you've got a bad habit.
That's
too.
how you work right.
Exactly.
And having that mentoring, and we have thousands and thousands of people that we have different clubs that people are coming here for, short-term and trading in clubs, longer-term investing clubs. You get people that are very wealthy that want to hang around other wealthy people and they want to have those same strategies so they can do things together. So just to come on one of these classes and see what these are all about, the mentoring, the clubs, the investment clubs, the trader clubs that we have here at the Academy, just text the word investing to the number 210 for 2 seats if you need that mentoring, or if you want to see what that mentoring even is. Just come into one of these classes by texting the word investing to the number 210 for 2 seats for this investing class. So, Al, we've gone through many different topics and techniques. We talked about FedEx, Bed Bath & Beyond, some of the things that people are seeing out there and why they are gambling, and how we at the Academy we have a strategy that's designed to follow the smart money. And you also have smart things to say, which let's hear today's OTA tip of the week.
Well, we've been talking about goals. And knowing what you want and what you're willing to do to get it are two different things. So ask yourself this: how important is your family's financial security? Can you really say that this isn't the right time, or I don't have the time for something so important now? If you want to be successful, just do what successful people do. They make it the right time. So maybe to succeed, you're going to you need to challenge your belief system, act outside of your comfort zone. But let's work together to help you reach your financial potential.
I like how you brought that up about being able to do things, and you have to take action is what it really comes down to.
Right.
And you were talking about that. It made me think of a good old movie from back in the day. I actually went to see this place in Iowa. And the comment was, if you build it, they will come. And that's the same thing in the markets. If you learn it, you build the skills, it will come. Text investing to the number 210 for 2 seats for an investing class. As always, same time, same place next week. Until then, retire young, my